How to record a lease in Moneylender Professional. So the easiest way is to use the regular loan wizard and set up a 0% interest loan with the terms of the lease. So if we just make a basic loan, it's a good idea to use a separate lender for your leases so that when you run reports, you can run reports just for your loans under one lender, just for your leases under a different lender. For our example, we'll just do a $1,000 a month lease. So we'll set it up with 0% interest. Let's say it was started on January 1st. And we don't care about the interest. We're actually going to delete the interest once we've created it. Let's say it's $1,000 a month for 12 months. We'll say February 1st is when the first rent payment is due. And then, yes, we charge late fees. It's going to be, maybe on our lease we have a 5-day grace period. We charge our late fees. So now we've got this lease document here. Because I set it back a few months, it's saying it's already due. We can just delete this 0% interest because we don't care. And that's it. Now we have, if we recorded these, we can see there's 3 months that are past due. We've got February 1st, we have $1,000 of rent and another 1,000 for March and another 1,000 for April. And now it shows that May 1st they have $1,000 due. The overall balance is reflecting what it'll be 15 days from now. That's why it includes the late fee. But there we go. And let's say that they have paid us for May even. We get 1,000 regular payment. And that shows, okay, they still have 8 more months left. We got 6-1. If we look at the amortization schedule, we can see it's just expecting 1,000 a month every month. It's all treating it like it's principal. There's no interest. If there were any late fees, we would see those. Like let's say they paid their rent late for April. We can go 4/8. And now it shows there's a late fee and it was due 4/8. And if we look at a payment distribution, we can see they paid 1,000 and 1,000 and then here the fee was charged. And so they're still $25 behind. It shows, hey, if they're going to pay May 1st, they still owe us $25. So ideally, like June 1st, they pay us $1,025. 5-1. Regular payment. And now we can see, oh, yeah, that gets them back on track. There's already a 5-1. That was supposed to be 6-1. Okay, hold on. 6-1. There we go. And that gets them back on track. They had that 25 outstanding for a while. This is a column that I added to the default payment distribution report. And we'll get into that a little bit more in a second. So this is the simplest way. Just do principal, 0% interest, and you're good to go. Alternatively, you could do, instead of principal, you could just say there's $1,000 and we switch the interest rate to a fixed currency amount. And say it's 1,000 currency, starting on 1/1, and we might as well just leave it on the payment schedule. So now if we look at ledger transactions, we can see it's just going to add $1,000 finance charge. So using a fixed currency interest rate, you can just set it monthly, add $1,000 in interest. And what that does, instead of marking it all as principal, now all of the rent is treated like interest, which is cool. So that's another way to do it. Basically, you set up the loan, delete the principal, and swap in the interest with a fixed currency amount. And you do it that way, and that's really cool too. If we look at the amortization schedule, now it'll show us that everything is supposed to be interest instead. And it looks more like profit or revenue. But there's a way that's even cooler, but it's harder to set up. So let's get rid of the interest, and we're going to use an extension account. So the way that principal is its own bucket of money on every loan, and interest is its own bucket of money on every loan, Moneylender's extension accounts give you 3 additional buckets. So in this portfolio, we could assign bucket 1 as rental income. So we could say there's $1,000 a month as rent. And we can mark this as a monthly, basically extension accounts function the same as other fees. So we can say it just goes monthly forever until we terminate the lease, or we could say it's monthly for 12 months and that's when it ends. And we'll say 2-1. So because they function like fees, we're going to add this $1,000 fee on the first due date. And we leave it like that. And now we have, watch this, this is going to look really confusing, right? Where we say, hey, this stuff doesn't make any sense at all. Why do we have thousands and it doesn't show where it's going? Well, the default reports that come with Moneylender don't include the extension accounts, but that information is available and you can plug that in. So if we go to our payment distribution report, we can add a new column to it called rent. And we'll choose from the record values extension account 1. And then we'll set that to a currency value, right aligned with a total. And we'll set it to, I think 86 is about where these are, yeah. And then we're just going to move this up to in front of the fees, in front of the escrow even. So now we have rent is payment extension account 1. And when we run our payment distribution report, it now includes a column for rent that says, hey, we didn't get any principal or interest, but we did get rent. Now, the same thing is going to happen on all the other reports. If we run financial activity, it doesn't include that extension account anywhere on it. So we would need to add that as well. So we could customize financial activity and add a column for rent paid and set the record value to extension 1 paid. And we'll do currency value, right aligned, give us a total at the bottom. I think these are all 0. They are. Okay, so we'll put the rents right after interest. And that's the financial activity report. So now we go reports, financial activity. We get rents paid right here, and it's all zeros until we get to our new loan where there's $4,000 in rents that we received. So you can then get a cohesive report across all your lenders, including both the loan lender and the rental lender, and still have those rents separated out, but included in the payment totals, which I think this is, oh no, we don't even have a total for the payment received. You might use like a cash flow to get the total payment received. But those are the 3 ways that you can do rents pretty conveniently in Moneylender. Either have it all principal with 0% interest, or no principal and the interest is a fixed currency amount, or use an extension account, and it's cool that it keeps it separate, but you will have to add items, the extension account columns, onto whichever reports you want to use. So, cool. Thanks for using Moneylender. Have a good one.